Marjorie Taylor Greene, much like Matt Gaetz, decided to give a rousing speech on the House floor this week. But Marjorie Taylor Greene was railing against mask mandates, specifically mask mandates for children in schools, which she says is basically child abuse. Not basically child abuse. She said it is child abuse. Here's what Greene had to say again on the floor of the House of Representatives. I'd like to talk about how children feel about masks. You see, while they're watching television, seeing Super Bowl games where adults are filling stadiums without masks and enjoying themselves while they see concerts happen, they see people go to work, they see adults going many places all over this country without a mask. Now, I know this sounds like strong words, but it really is because children are not at risk of COVID-19. And children are forced to wear masks every day, every single day at school. And it's wrong. Actually, it's child abuse. Okay, before we get into the whole abuse thing, children are not at risk of COVID-19. Tell that to the more than 1,000 children who've died in this country of COVID. Well, I guess you can't tell them. So maybe tell the parents that are still grieving the loss of a child from COVID-19. I'm sure they'd like to have a few words with you about the risk that children do have from COVID. Furthermore, this is not abuse. Since when did protecting your children from a deadly illness constitute abuse? I would say it's actually abuse to not protect them from COVID, right? Just throwing them out there into the ether saying, well, whatever happens to you, happens to you. You can't do that. That's, that should be considered abuse if we're considering anything abuse. Children are at risk of COVID-19, and according to medical professionals, we're starting to see that children who contract COVID later on in life could be at greater risk of diseases such as diabetes. And that's just, we don't have long-term studies yet, obviously, because this disease has only been around in the United States for 2 years now. We don't know the long-term health effects, but so far from what we've seen, they're not good. Too many people, grown adults, who have caught COVID still have not been able to go back to normal lives. They're still suffering from shortness of breath. They're suffering from heart problems. They're suffering from all kinds of things that previously did not exist in their bodies. But COVID ravaged them so hard that this might be the new reality under which they live. Do we really want to risk that for our children? Sure, they may not die of COVID. They may not have as many risk factors as adults. But do we really want to condemn them to a life of medical problems when we could do anything in our power to help prevent it? And I'm not saying that it's 100% effective to wear a mask. We know it's not 100%. Nothing is. But it does help protect them, yes. And as far as I've seen, at least anecdotally with my kids, none of them have problems with it. They like masks. They like different colors, different styles, different things. They actually don't care about wearing it at all. They don't even care, by the way, that they're some of the only kids in their school down here in this ridiculously red Florida county that are wearing masks. And sure, you see grown adults out there not wearing masks. That doesn't mean that kids are jealous of them. It means those people are probably idiots. If you go to an NFL game and you're not wearing a mask, I'm sorry, that's very stupid right now. I don't care if you're not wearing one because there's no mandate in place there, whatever. Thousands of people are still dying every day from this, and we're acting like, oh no, it's all done. Kids can't be affected. This is child abuse. These people are morons. That's what Marjorie Taylor Greene is. She is a moron. For the record, I went to an NFL game. Second week of December, Charlotte, North Carolina. I wore a mask the whole time. My kids wore masks the whole time. None of us got sick. We didn't get sick on the flight up there. Didn't get sick at the restaurants we had to eat at. Didn't get sick at the hotel. Didn't get sick at the game, at the flight back. None of it. We wore masks the whole time. We enjoyed ourselves. We had fun. We took lots of pictures. And we all came home healthy. We had all, for the record, also all been vaccinated. But let's stop pretending that you can't lead a normal life in COVID times. That's what the Republicans and all these anti-maskers and anti-vaxxers are trying to convince you. You can still live a normal life, folks. I have. We take precautions, absolutely. Do we take as many risks as we used to? Absolutely not. But as I've said, and I'll be totally upfront with this, and you may think I'm irresponsible, and that's fine if you think that. But I've been to Universal Studios for 2 weeks in Orlando since COVID started. Obviously not the first year, but last year, yeah. And we masked up the whole time. Nobody got sick. And maybe that's a rarity. We went to Disney World. Nobody got sick and we were masked up. We went on vacation for a week in Colorado, flew out there, masked up. Nobody got sick. And again, I went to Vegas a week for work in a casino all frickin' week long. Tons of people everywhere. Didn't get sick, masked up the whole time and vaccinated. Same thing as I mentioned, that trip to the NFL game. You can still live a normal life. Not once did my kids complain about wearing the masks. Maybe we're unique. Maybe my kids are the only kids in the country not complaining about wearing masks. But I don't think we are. And I also don't think that it is a good rationale to point out that, well, adults don't have to wear them. Look at these award shows in Hollywood. They're not wearing them. Who gives a crap? If people want to be stupid, they can be stupid. And that's part of the reason we're still living with this damn pandemic today. Because there's too many idiots out there like Marjorie Taylor Greene. And there's plenty of idiots, for the record, on the left and right on this issue. But people are dying every day. People are dying every day. We're going to hit 1 million deaths in this country, even with numbers starting to go down in this country. But we're already seeing signs that this administration is about to do away with any kind of mask mandates. You know, COVID's over is what we're hearing from the left and the right. Folks, it ain't over. Your state government clearly is not going to protect you. The federal government doesn't give a damn, apparently. It's up to you. It is up to you. They do away with mask mandates. That doesn't mean we get to throw them all in the trash. Hey, that's wonderful. Great. It's done. When the numbers flatline, that's when we're good. Probably. But another thing I got to say, and I'm sorry, I know I'm going off on this, but listen, about the whole mask thing. Do you know what's been great for the last 2 years that my kids have been back in school? Not having them come home with colds. Not having them come home with stomach bugs. There was actually a recent outbreak at my kids' elementary school of this horrendous stomach bug. My kids didn't get sick. My kids are also masked up. It was so bad they had to bring in specialized cleaning crews to basically deep clean that entire school to try to kill those viruses. My kids were great. But again, my kids are some of the few that wear masks. Masks may not be 100% effective, but it's damn sure not child abuse. And it's a heck of a lot better than having your kid have to run to the bathroom every 3 minutes because they're throwing up. I'm sorry, but I think protecting my kid's health, evolutionarily speaking, is my job as a parent. Apparently, Marjorie Taylor Greene thinks the exact opposite. And all I can say to that is I have a tremendous amount of pity for her children. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.